What it do, YouTube? MJ for Life here, back again with another video. This time bringing you a NU replay battle that I just had. It was a really great battle, so let's get into it. He leads off with his leave ending, I lead off with Archeops, I go for the taunt, then the stealth rocks. He hits me with a leave blade. I'm going to endeavor just because I didn't want the rock slide to miss, and I wanted to break this thing's focus fast so I could bring in my Pyroar, Choice Specs Pyroar. I looked at his team and I saw that nothing can switch into this, and had I gone for Overheat here instead of the Hyper Voice, that would have been a 2-hit KO on anything and everything on his team. But instead I made the misplay. I went for the Overheat, the Hyper Voice, and I didn't go for the Overheat. Now he's going to go into his Gourgeist because I went into my Lantern. I'm going to Volt Switch out on the Audino, but he brings in his Gourgeist. So now we're back up to speed here, and I'm going to go back into my Pyroar, and again, I can just click the Fire move. I know Fire Blast will be a 2-hit KO on Audino, so I'm going to go for that, and I do hit the first one. It does 49%, so if he doesn't have Protect, I'm going to knock out this Audino, which is going to be good for me because it's a really big annoyance, but he does have the Protect. But even with that, I did 49 the first time. I may be able to knock it out, but he's going to switch into his Kadabra, and I'm going to get a big hit on this big threat right away. I know it's going to be Focus Sash, so now I'm going to switch out into my Gourgeist because I expected a Psy Shock, honestly, or a Hidden Power Fighting. But he went for Psychic. I do take that, and then I can go for the Shadow Sneak, but he sees that coming and goes into his Pelipper. Great play on his part because I actually get a crit, which doesn't really matter, I don't think, in the end. But now he's going to be able to defog away my hazards, so now my Stealth Rocks are gone, making his switching a lot easier for him. So now what I'm going to do is go into my Lantern on the defog, Volt Switch out on this Audino that I know is coming. Now I get a free switch into Sock. And I mentioned in the last video that nothing can switch into Choice Banded Sock, but I was wrong because basically the only thing in the tier that can take on Sock is Gourgeist. Because you're going to see later on that Choice Banded Knockoff does absolutely nothing to Gourgeist. So he's going to go in. I double switched expecting the Gourgeist to come in. He predicts me nicely and stays in going for the Wish, knowing that he knows that I know that he has a Gourgeist, if that makes any sense. But now I'm going to Toxic this Audino just so I can start wearing it down. I'm pretty sure it has Heal Bell, but I basically want to just wear it down because I really see this game coming down to Audino stall in the long run. So I basically want to force it to waste its Heal Bells early on. So now he's going to Wish Pass into his Liveni, but I'm not going to let him set up his Sticky Web just yet. So I'm going to go for the Overheat here because I know it'll 2-hit KO his Audino, and he just sacks his Kadabra. So I'm able to get rid of that threat without it denting my team too much. So now I'm just going to go back into the Audinos. I'm going to go into Sock, expecting the Wish, and now I'm going to go for Knockoff, predicting him to either stay in or to... Oh, I know I lied. I went for Close Combat, and Liveni does not take that well, in my opinion, and he goes all the way up to 99%, but it doesn't matter because he's going to be able to get up the Sticky Web. Now, honestly, Sticky Web doesn't really hurt me too much because this team is basically a team of walls. As you're going to see, this thing takes 65% from the Specs Overheat, and now I can just finish that off with another Specs Overheat. But instead of letting it go down, he's going to go into his Aurorus, and you're going to see, even at -2 special attack, that Overheat does a ton of damage. So I know that this is probably more offensively based Aurorus. As I switch into my Lantern, as soon as I click Lantern, I was like, ah, crap, Freeze Dry. I forgot that that was a thing. You don't really see that too much in OU, but in the lower tiers it's really popular. And it doesn't 2-hit KO me, thankfully. So now I'm able to go into what I should have gone into. Well, no, I lied. I'm going to Sock. Because I figure even at -1 speed, I still should be faster than Aurorus. Plus, I know I can take any one hit from it. So I'm going to go for the Knockoff here, expecting to switch into anything. Basically, Knockoff is just a good move in general, and that only does 57%, so it's not a 2-hit KO, and he can Will-O-Wisp me, he can Leech Seed me, which I was hoping he would go for Will-O-Wisp, but he goes for Leech Seed. So now I've got a double switch because I know I won't be able to knock out the incoming Audino, and I just don't want to deal with it. So he's going to go to that. I'm going to go to my Lickilicky. I'm going to Wish here because I need to Wish Pass into my Lantern to get that back up to full health so I can better deal with his Aurorus later on. Well, not his Aurorus, but his Audino because... and I knew I could take one hit, so he goes for the Hyper Voice, probably expecting my Lantern switch in, but it's not going to knock me out because I am max special defense. And I can just Toxic this thing again, forcing it to Heal Bell, because I know I can see already where this is going to go. It's going to come down to Stall towards the end, so I want to basically lower its Heal Bell. So now I'm going to go for the Scald, hoping to get a burn on the incoming Gourgeist, which I know is coming in, but I don't. So now I'm going to predict the Leech Seed, expecting him to expect my Pyroar switch, predicting a Seed-Bomb or a Will-O-Wisp, and I'm going to Volt Switch, hoping to be slower, which I am, so now I can go into Pyroar for free, and now once again I can just click Overheat and kill something. So basically, Pyroar is a huge threat to his team. At 2-hit KOs or 1-hit KOs, everything on his team with Specs Overheat. So now I'm going to go, he goes into his Aurorus, I'm going to go into my Lickilicky, and he gets the freaking attack everything boost, not just attack, everything boost with Ancient Power. 10% chance of that happening, and it happens. So now I'm just going to go for the Toxic. He goes for Nature Power, and now this Tri-Attack, it does a lot of damage. I mean, I don't understand why that did so much. I mean, the Ancient Power didn't do that much, and it's only, I think Ancient Power is what, 60 base power. So I'm not really sure why that Tri-Attack did so much. It only +1 special attack and whatever. But anyway, now I'm going to sack my Gorgeist here because I didn't really think it was going to do too much against his team. He predicts that and goes for a freeze dry, but it doesn't really matter because I wanted it to die anyway. But I guess he just saved himself one extra turn of toxic damage, which I guess is good in his part. But now I can go back into my Licky and just protect again. He's not even going to want to deal with it, which is fine by me because that means he loses out on his boost. So that was actually better for me than it was for him. Now he's going to go for the Heal Bell. I know he's going to do this, so I'm going to take this opportunity to wish up, and then I'm going to go for the Toxic on his incoming Gourgeist, because all this time I thought I needed to keep my Lantern around so I could Toxic his Autognome, but this is when I remembered that I have Toxic on my Licky as well. So now I'm going to go into Sog expecting anything except Will-O-Wisp. I kind of expected him to lead seed me, and here he goes for the trick, which I thought was very surprising, but I'm just going to go for the knockoff here. Knock off this Leavanny. And now that I think back on it, that Sock switch probably wasn't the best switch. But I'm able to knock this thing out with an Ice Punch because I knew I could take any one hit. Now he goes back into the Gourgeist. Now I'm going to knock that off just to get off the Torch Man so he can't trick me. And he's going to go for the C-Bomb. I actually lived that as well. And now expecting a Shadow Sneak, I'm going to switch out into my Pyro, but I really probably shouldn't have done that just because I saw the trick, so it doesn't seem like he either doesn't have Will-O-Wisp or he either doesn't have Shadow Sneak. But now his Gourgeist is very, very low, so now my plan here is to make sure that Gourgeist cannot come in for free. As you see here, the Overheat does 62% to this Autognome. So with Stealth Rocks or Toxic damage, that's a 2-hit KO. So I'm going to go back into my Lantern, and basically here, anytime he goes for Wish, I'm going to click Scald, because that prevents him from being able to bring in his Gourgeist, because it will die from 9%, because it's at 9%. And if he brings in Aurorus, there's a chance to burn it, as well as hit it for some super effective damage. So now I'm going to Toxic his Autognome, again, just forcing it to Heal Bell. And also, anytime he goes for Wish, I'm going for Scald immediately afterwards, so he cannot bring in his Gourgeist and get it back up. Because I've got it down and I don't want to deal with it anymore. So at this point, as long as I prevent his Gourgeist from coming in, I basically win the game. So here I'm predicting a Volt switched on his expected Hyper Voice. Now I'm going to knock off this Autognome's leftovers just to make sure just when I get it into 2-hit KO range that it will be 2-hit KO'd and I don't have to worry about the leftovers recovery. Now I'm going to go into Pyroar, and basically I just click Overheat and something dies, and he is going to choose Aurorus. I kind of thought that he should have chose Gourgeist just because there's no way I'm letting him go bring it back up to full HP. So now he's going to go back into Autognome, and at this point it's game over because he can't bring in his Gourgeist, because anytime he goes for Wish, I'm going for an attacking move, and anytime he's not wishing, I'm going to be Toxicking him. So his Heal Bells are running slow. I think he's already used 5 at this point, or 4 or 5 at this point, and it's my game at this point, and I think eventually he's going to run because he realizes that he can't do anything. Because again, anytime he goes for Wish, I'm attacking so that he can't bring in the Gourgeist. So at this point that he says good game and just he's had enough. He realizes that he can't win this battle. So I think that was a really, really good battle. It was 59 turns. It was sort of stally, but I think it was a really good battle, and it just shows how strong this team is, how powerful Choice Specs Pyroar is, because nothing on his team could take 2 hits from Choice Specs Pyroar. Choice Specs Pyroar is a huge threat in the never used tier. I advise you guys to test it out if you haven't used it already. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, all the other good stuff, and I'm out of here. Deuces.